If you run an e-commerce store, you probably get the same 3 questions over and over again. What's your refund policy? Do you ship internationally? Does this product come in blue? Now imagine that you had an AI assistant that could instantly answer all of those straight from your business policies and your product catalog without lifting a finger. That's exactly what I built. A small agent powered by RAG for your policies and Google Sheets for your products. In this video, I'll show you how it works. So this workflow is a RAG agent, similar to what we built in one of our earlier videos where we built an agent on the cloud version of N8N. But this time we're going to build this on our local N8N instance that we walked through in the previous video. Just like the previous RAG agent we built, this has 2 pipelines. The pipeline where we feed the documents into our vector store, and the pipeline which carries the actual chat. Okay, let's give this a test run. We open the chat and we ask it, what's your refund policy? And just like that, you have your answer. Any second now. Our refund policy states that you can return items within 30 days of delivery and be eligible for returns. The item must be unused, unworn, and in the same condition they were reached in, with original packaging and proof of purchase. So how does this agent actually work, right? We give it a question. The AI agent then looks for information in either the quadrant vector store, which holds all of our policies, our frequently asked questions, and it also looks at our Google Sheet for any questions with regards to product information, for example. So if the question that the user asked was, tell me about the products you sell, it's actually going to go and look inside the Google Sheet and then retrieve an answer based on the question of the user. In this case, we offer a wide range of products across various categories, including apparel, blah, 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 classic cotton t-shirts, stride runner sneakers, and so on. I actually built these fake product CSVs and policies and stored them inside the vector store. But we're going to go over how to actually do that, how to connect your Google Sheet, which has your product information, how to create your vector database, how to make sure that the agent is able to retrieve information from the vector database in the next steps of this video. So to start off, the first thing that you need is to actually build a pipeline through which you are uploading documents to your quadrant or vector database. To do that, you just go to the plus icon, add your first step, you go to Google Drive, on changes to a specific folder. You're going to have to set up your credentials, but if you don't have your credentials set up, just go to the docs. It'll walk you through every single step that you need to take to connect your Google account. Basically, you'll need to go to the Google Cloud Console, create a OAuth consent screen. You'll have to give it access to the APIs, and just make sure that this line over here is copied into the redirect URL so that it's able to connect to your local instance of N8N. The documents are really simple to follow, so I'm not going to recreate those in this video. Just go ahead and follow along on the documents that you can access by clicking here. Okay, so once you have your credentials set up, the next thing that you're going to do is you will select a specific folder. Now, I've already created a folder which I'm going to call e-commerce store automation. And within this folder, I'm going to say every time a file is created, I want you to run. And it's going to run every single minute. So it's going to watch for a new file that has been updated to the system every single minute before it can actually update it to the next steps or the quadrant database. Now, the next step over here is basically to download the file that you created over here in the first place. We're going to fetch a test event right now so that we have data to work with. And the next step is going to be, again, Google Drive. And inside the Google Drive node, we're going to look for download a file. And in download a file, you will need the ID. So just click on the search icon on top and search for ID. You don't need permission IDs. You need the main ID of the document itself. So go ahead and drag that and put it inside the file by ID box over here. Execute that step to make sure that it's working. And we have a binary file which has been downloaded to our N8N workflow. Now, the next step is pretty simple as well. all we need to do is set up our quadrant. Now, quadrant is the vector store that comes with the local N8N AI starter kit that we downloaded in the previous video. It saves you from a lot of headache of having to download a vector store locally and then connecting it to your local N8N. It comes pre-installed, so just go ahead and use that. Once you're in there, the step that you want to add is add documents to vector store. This is going to basically allow you to upload every document that you download in the previous notes to the vector store inside quadrant. So what we're going to do is quadrant collection. Okay, over here, all you need to do is, since we don't have a collection that we want to use right away, so what you will do is you will just create, let's say, e-commerce test. Okay, this is going to be our quadrant collection, and I'm going to show you how you can access quadrant collections later on as well. Now, the insert document by ID looks good. Now, you'll notice over here it needs two inputs as well, embeddings and document. So in document, go ahead and use the default data loader. In the type of data, you want to use binary because this is the file that we want to upload, and it's in a binary format. You can tell that by this submenu over here that this is a binary file and not JSON. Leave the mode to load all input data. The data format can be left as is. Everything you can leave as is and just click out. The next thing you're going to do is you will create a embeddings. And to do that, just go to Ollama and use MXBAI embed large. Okay, so we did talk about how to download different models in the last video on your local N8N or Ollama. And this is the model that I downloaded to use as an embedding tool. But there are several tools out there that you can use instead. Just go to Ollama's website. And over here, click models, search for models, just select the embedding filter over here. And these are all the models that you can download. This is the one that I had downloaded simply because it worked for me. But go ahead, do your research, whichever model suits your requirements, download that. Okay, so we have now connected our embeddings model as well. And that's all we need to do over there. Now what this whole pipeline is going to do, every time a new file is uploaded to our specific folder, and let me show you what that looks like. So this is our folder, and these are the 3 policies that I uploaded over here previously. So what we'll do now is I will go ahead and delete all of these. Just go ahead and delete. Now I will upload one of these files into this folder again. So let's say it's our refund and return policy. It's going ahead and uploading that. Okay, that's done. Now you'll notice over here how it says that it's going to kickstart every minute. So it's going to look for new files inside the Google Drive every single minute when the workflow is turned on. So just go ahead and switch the workflow on. And now we'll just wait for the execution section to run at around 1627 because that's the next minute. So you see over here how it ran at 1629. It successfully watched for the folder, downloaded the file, and then uploaded it to the Quadrant database. Let's see which file it actually created. We'll go over here, search. So the file name will definitely have policy in it. So it did update the shipping and cancellation policy. Great. There's these other 2 runs as well because I uploaded these other 2 documents too. And in this run of the N8N workflow, it uploaded, let's check which policy. So over here, it uploaded the refund and return policy. And in this run, it uploaded the privacy policy. So you have all 3 policies now inside the Quadrant database. Let's go back to our editor. Now we can start building the chat pipeline. To build the chat pipeline, just click on the plus icon and search for chat trigger. Add that in. Nothing to do over there. Just make that pretty. And the next node over here is going to be AI agent. This is where we feed our prompt. Okay, the prompt user is going to be the chat message that is received. So connected chat trigger node is the input for this AI agent. And in options, you can add a system message. The system message is actually what's going to tell the AI agent which files to search, when, and what to do with it. Inside this prompt, we want to tell the agent that it needs to go to the vector database if the question is about a policy or a frequently asked question, and it needs to reference the Google Sheet that we're going to add to the agent as a tool. It needs to reference the Google Sheet if any question is asked about the products that the e-commerce store sells. So we already have this prompt written, and to do that, just go. I'm going to provide this prompt inside in fact, I'm going to provide the JSON of the entire workflow that you can download and just set up on your own N8N. So this is the prompt that I wrote. It was basically, you are a helpful assistant for ECOMMERCE and e-commerce business. You have access to two knowledge sources. Vector database quadrant contains all company policies, refund, return, shipping, privacy, etc. Google Sheet contains the product catalog, including product details, variations, and attributes. Your job is to, and so on. Okay, so just go ahead and copy all of this and paste it into the system message. You're going to have this built inside the workflow when you download the JSON for this entire workflow from the link that I provide you inside the description of this video. So no need to break your head about what prompt to use. Go ahead and tweak the prompt to your liking. Now you'll notice that we need to add a chat model, a memory to the AI agent, and tools. Inside the tools, we're going to add two tools. One is going to be Quadrant, which is a vector database. And inside Quadrant, we also need to give it a description to tell the AI agent or when the Quadrant vector store is going to be used. It's basically the description that you will add over here is utilize this tool when searching for company-related policies. Let's go ahead and add that. And inside the list, you want to use the same list that you added over here, which is e-commerce test. So it only references the category or collection that you created when you were uploading the files. So e-commerce test. And over here, we're going to give it a limit of 10 documents to reference. And then we're going to re-rank those. And I'll show you how we do that as well. Over here in embeddings. But let's first add the Google Sheet tool as well. So Google Sheets tool. You're going to, again, connect your Google Sheet to N8N using the docs. If you haven't already, just open the docs from over here. And in the list, you will search for the document that you want it to pick up, or the document that you want to attach to the AI agent. This is the CSV that I created, which is called Fake Products. I know, super creative. And from the list, just add the sheet. And the sheet name over here is Fake Products 100 Variations. And that's it. Now, inside the Quadrant Vector Store, you'll notice that there's an embedding option. You need to add an embedding model over here. Similar to what we did over here inside the embeddings Olama that we added to the Quadrant Vector Store, we need to add the same embeddings model over here inside the Vector Store tool over here. Now, when you go back to Vector Store, you'll notice that there is an option to turn on over here which says re-rank results. Go ahead and click that. Once you switch that on, you'll see an option for re-ranker. Zoom in over here. Re-ranker that pops up over here. The re-ranker that we're using is Cohere. That's the only option that you get on N8N. You can also use other re-ranker services by using an HTTP request, but let's keep things simple. And this is free to use or test out, so no worries over there. To create your account on Cohere, click on Create New Credential and go to cohere.com. Once you're out at this website, click on Sign In. I've already signed in, so it didn't give me the option of signing up with Google and whatnot. Just use your Google account to sign up if you want. And over here, go to the API key section. You'll have the option to create a trial key, which you can copy. So let's call this test, generate trial key, and copy this in. Okay. Once you do that, let's go ahead and delete that. Once you copy that key over here, just paste it in over here, click save, and you will have your Cohere account connected to N8N. We already did all of those steps, so we won't connect another account all over again. We deleted the API anyway. So you now have a re-ranker and an embedding models attached to the Quadrant Vector store. In memory, just go ahead and use simple memory. And in the chat model, we're going to use a local chat model. So over here we use Ollama, and Llama 3.2 was the chat model that we're going to use. We cannot use DeepSeek R1 as it doesn't allow it to be used as a tool for calling. So Llama 3.2 works great for this purpose. We're just going to use Llama 3.2, which is, by the way, downloaded with the N8N AI Starter Kit. And that's pretty much it. That's all you need to do to set up this workflow. Let's go ahead and test this out. Open chat. What's your refund policy? The agent is going to the Ollama chat model and then is referencing the Quadrant Vector store. It's re-ranking the results, giving the results back to the AI agent, and we have our answer. Our refund policy allows for returns within 30 days of delivery, blah, blah, blah. The question we're going to ask it is, tell me about your t-shirts. And it's searching the Google Sheet now because we asked it about a product. And the result is our t-shirts are classic cotton tee with various sizes available. Okay. Let's ask it, what other products do you sell? It's going again to the Google Sheet, returning the result back to the AI agent. The Ollama model is creating the response, and it's giving me the other products that it sells. And there you have it. You just built a local RAG agent that is also able to reference a Google Sheet to answer questions that your customer may have. Now keep in mind that this is all running locally. You're not using any credits from OpenAI or Gemini, and you're not using any monthly subscriptions on vector databases like Pinecone or Supabase. As you scale, you might actually want to run this entire automation on a VPS or a virtual private server, which has Windows installed on it so that you can run it 24 hours, because the limitation with using this locally on your machine is that it'll only run when you have your Docker container running. That's all I have for you today. If you found any sort of value in this video, I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe. And I did leave a link inside the description of this video where you can download this exact workflow, prompts, everything included. And I'll see you in the next one.